Hello and welcome into a Friday edition of Gold and Blue Now. I'm Chip Fontanazza. Well, it's been a busy week for the Mountaineer coaching staff, and things are beginning to pay off on the recruiting trails. On Thursday, West Virginia received 2 more verbal commitments from safety Carl Joseph and from tight end Will Johnson. On Thursday night, both their head coaches were guests on the Northside Automotive Statewide Sports Line, and they had this to say about those players.
Carl's a special player, and he's actually the best one I've ever been around. And, he's just got a bright future ahead of him. He's a very physical player. He's perfect for the style of defense West Virginia plays, and, I know he's excited to get up to Morgantown.
I would use Will as a blocking back, as a set tight end, and even a guy that can flex out sometimes and get you the edge. He's a heck of a blocker, and he's got great hands. He can get vertical down the field, down block, run an arrow in the flats, and it's tough when you can get he's sick right now. He's 6'7", 250, and he runs real well. You stick him and motion him in the backfield and then release him in the flats. That's a pretty good weapon to have.
And both of those recruits are listed as 3-star recruits by Scout.com. They also had a very impressive list of offers from other schools. You can read more about them under the WVU section at WVMetronews.com. Moving on to more recruiting news, another commitment is making headlines for the Mountaineers. Brandon Napoleon from St. Peter's Prep will be taking part in the Semper Fidelis All-American Bowl in Arizona. He is the son of former WVU running back Eugene Napoleon, and Brandon was a guest on the Northside Automotive Statewide Sports Line earlier this week and had this to say about taking part in the All-American Bowl.
Well, I went to the Army All-American Combine last year as a junior, so they already had me on the radar for Mr. Lemming's top prospects. So when they came out with the new game, I got a call that said I was up for nominations. So when I got called that I was actually All-American, it wasn't very surprising, but I was just so happy and relieved because I always wanted to be All-American since I was little, just like my dad.
Now moving on to the Mountaineer basketball team, West Virginia is getting ready to take on Texas A&M Corpus Christi tomorrow in the WVU Coliseum. And one player who has helped out WVU tremendously both on and off the court this year with his leadership is senior forward Kevin Jones. Bob Huggins says that he has been a major factor in the success that they've had this season with all of the young freshmen.
He's a guy who is there early. He's a guy who will come in during the day when he has time and shoot. He's a guy who has just gone in the weight room and done everything and more that Andy's asked him to do. That's KJ. I mean, he is a wonderful, wonderful human being, and there's no negative thoughts that ever crosses his mind. And he's done, and I've said this many times, but just a wonderful, wonderful job with our young guys.
And tip-off for tomorrow's game is set for 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can find complete coverage at WVMetronews.com. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. For this edition of Gold and Blue Now, I'm Chip Fontanazza.